you hear me? Good morning, Mumbai! So, before I want to start, I want to say Dhanyabad, Shukriya, thank you so much, everyone, for coming here today. We know that you've taken time out of your busy schedules to spend time here with us, and we hope to make it a meaningful day, full of learning, full of knowledge sharing. But I think the most important thing is that we are back. We're here in person. Look at the person next to you. This has been a long time since we've been able to do this. And Mama is our flagship event globally. And I'm so happy that the first time that we're doing it in Asia, post-pandemic, is here in India. Most of you know that we've been in a state of constant change and constant transformation. The way I see it, there's three periods. There's before COVID, there's the COVID period, and the period that we are now in is post-COVID. Most of us have been part of this transformation. We've seen it right before our eyes. Where we once thought that traditional industries couldn't be disrupted, everything that we've known has transformed. Today, we order groceries via our mobile apps, we bank from our living rooms, and we even find a date on our mobile apps. So everything has changed, and we probably look at the 2020s, the decade that we are now in, as possibly the most innovative decade that there will ever be. But the most innovative decade to date has actually been the 1880s. You see, in the 1880s, some of the most critical inventions happened, like the iron, the steam engine. Coca-Cola was formulated. And, of course, very importantly, the revolving door. A lot of these innovations were actually infrastructure related. They helped lay the foundation for things that we've come to enjoy today without even thinking about it. The 1880s would have spurned the innovation of what we call tech analog, okay? 140 years later, we're now in a different time. We're in a time of digitization, where everything that we have come to know and understand is purely digital. Take the internet, for example. How many of you first met the internet in a Web 1 world? Okay, good. Some of you are as old as me. So you will have known how we interacted with the internet was really us only reading what was there. Today, the internet for us is a place where we can read and we can write. But what will the internet be when we enter the Web 3 era? There's one thing that is for certain. The 2020s will be the era of read, write, and own, where we will own digital content. How many of you know the sound dial-up modem, right? We accessed Web 1 via dial-up modem. And when our mom picked up the phone and cut us off from the internet, "Mom, get off the internet, get off the phone, I'm surfing the web. What's the web?" So today, we've also evolved. I remember being here a few years ago when 4G was launched, and that was seen as the biggest disruptor and the biggest catalyst for digital innovation. I think we have something faster coming, right? And that's with 5G. What does 5G create? It actually gives us more speed. And more speed means more data. And more data, more possibilities. We've also seen fintech evolve, or finance as we have come to know it. Early finance was exchanging barley for rice, which our ancestors, and it goes back quite a while. Barter, exactly. And the evolution to paper money, which was invented by the Chinese but globalized by the Mongolians. And then there was this machine which you used to be able to kick and stick a card in and get some money out, the ATM. And then there was internet banking. And then there was cryptocurrency. And I don't know. When was the last time you carried cash in your pocket? I assume probably in India it's still quite common that you still need to give out tips. But I knew that money would be digitized when I was in China several years ago, and there was a beggar on the street, and he had a QR code so that you could scan it and just give him some money. So we are seeing the future of money evolve right before our eyes as well. And yes, we've been wasteful. Do we really need over 24,000 versions of an Android device? Well, it's definitely better than only having one version of an iOS device. See, there's a lot of choice out there. And choice creates competition and creates more innovation. And we've seen the evolution of two-sided marketplaces, which is probably one of the most difficult businesses to build. And we also seen the interference in two-sided marketplaces, which are not immune to politics. If any of you have experienced late shipments of things that you were expecting to come here, or if you were in a different industry trying to get an empty container that you could ship goods from one country to another, has all been disrupted. And yes, there's even been disruption here in India. I believe it's somewhere upwards of 250 apps that were banned, most of those hailing from China. And that created a void in the market. And that void created opportunity. And that opportunity was filled none other than by you guys who are sitting here in this room, who were able to capture the opportunity instead of letting it slip by you. And did you know that India is a gaming nation? I'm sure most of you did not grow up as gamers. You didn't have a console. Maybe you gamed on PC if you were so lucky to have one. But your kids, you now have to tell them, stop gaming, would you? You see, India, if you normalize the data, India has been the fastest growing gaming market on the planet. Not by small margins, 5 times faster than any other region globally. Did I mention dating? Yes, dating apps are also very popular here, contrary to common culture. Some of us are finding our mates via Tinder, swiping left and swiping right, or other places. I think the Bumble app is one of the top 5 downloaded app here in India. I think it's fair to say we can no longer ignore the signs that are out there. The headlines are there about India becoming part of the New World Order. I think we all agree. We're sitting here. You have entrepreneurs, you have business leaders, you have policymakers. India is the New World Order. And this is, if we talk about this decade being a decade that it will be owned by any nation, I believe that nation will be India. So to sum up, if we look at COVID as a great accelerator, we look at the policies enactment that have disrupted several things that have occurred. Conflicts. Yes, there have been a few, and even wars where people are fighting for senseless reasons. All of this has helped to create what we are now in the midst of the greatest digital acceleration that there ever was. So, anybody know Peter Drucker? So if we just take the wise words of Peter Drucker, the best way to predict the future is to create it. I imagine that most of you here are creating the future of India. So thank you for spending today with us, and I wish you all good luck and good success. And let's make Mama Bharat 2.0 the most successful event. Thank you so much.